Alright guys, welcome to a quick drink with Jezza at Stonecutters Ridge Golf Course. And today we have a good mate of mine, Daniel Holmes. And Daniel, firstly, thanks for being here today with me. We're obviously going to go play golf, but thanks for taking time to have this chat. Firstly, what are you drinking?
Coke no sugar.
Apparently you are. I'm drinking a Coke no sugar too. So, obviously, mate, you work in a space where you're dealing with people's behaviour, etc. Is that correct?
Thinking behaviour, yeah, culture, performance, all those types of things in business settings. But it drifts to everyday life.
And I've spoken to you before about the need for people to be more vulnerable and open themselves up, and you know, you've also helped me with understanding that not everyone can just be at this stage of vulnerability. You know, we've got to go back to starting here, and you've given me some really good examples. Just wondering if you could talk to about a few of those and what people, or you know, what are some examples of a start?
I think it's really difficult just to tell someone just to be vulnerable. For most people, there needs to be an element of trust, to feel safe, to have those types of feelings before they would talk about any of their struggles, because vulnerability is really just talking about your struggles or what you're struggling with at that point in time. And some people aren't comfortable with that for many reasons. Some don't want to appear weak. Some just don't know how to talk about it. Some would prefer to deflect and just be like, I'm right, and think it's going to pass or go away. Some ride a roller coaster. You never know. They're up and down. So, and you see that in your mates as to where. So,
and do you see that in with what you do with business? Do you see people struggling with those types of concepts about, you know, oh, I'm a failure, I can't talk about this, what are we trying to achieve here?
Yeah, you get it in many different ways. People will always think they can't do something as a starting point, or always compare themselves to someone else. Comparisons is, I think, one of the biggest problems. Someone will always look at someone else and compare themselves to that person when it's impossible to do, because you haven't lived. But separate to that, it's.
I actually prefer when when you hit a 4-iron compared to my driver.
Yeah, that's good fun. But we're drifting here, Jeremy. With a couple of wire. I think for a lot of people, and it's natural to worry about what other people think, whether people will approve of what they're doing, all those different things. So all these overthinking thoughts kick in before anyone does anything, and it paralyzes people, and then they just don't do it. And then whether that's to do with something in business or want to do something new or whatever else, instead of just trying, because people are scared of failure when really all failure is like a lesson.
So one of the things I try and tell businesses is about, and this comes up a fair bit, right? I'll say to them, you guys, we need to create this environment of making people feel comfortable to share things and to create an environment of mental health as the focus. And I remember I did this talk, and one of the guys said to me, he goes, well, how do we do that? And I was like, well, you know, I guess you could start with the top. Now, I'm not saying they have to come out and say, guys, I've suffered depression, I've suffered anxiety, but a good example might be, or would a starting point be, maybe a leader or someone or anyone in the organisation talking about some struggle they've had?
Potentially, or you can do that in a public setting. Some people enjoy that. Other people would probably respond better to someone reaching out and just listening and sharing one-on-one those stories, because people who struggle being vulnerable aren't going to do it in a big setting.
Very right, yeah.
And they're probably not going to acknowledge that they are in a big setting either. They're going to seek, after your talks, I'm sure people seek you out one-on-one. They don't put their hand up in the middle of the thing. So no one's, you know, so for most people it's about feeling listened to and not judged. Because if there's any type of judgment, they're just going to run again. So,
and I think you said something earlier which I should have got you to speak about, but that trust.
It's
massive, isn't it? Yeah, if people don't feel comfortable and trust them, they're not gonna tell you anything
ever. So, and you know, sometimes if you talk to a professional or someone who's there to help you with that, you might feel some trust instantly. you're not going to open up completely. And then the rest of it, you're going to have friends that you think you could talk to about, and you're going to have friends you're like, I've never talked that guy or girl about it ever. They're a different type of friend, and not everyone's going to be that for everyone. So it really is what you feel comfortable with and who you feel you can trust. And I think it all comes down to whether you think they'll listen and judge, or whether they'll just listen and support, because that's the starting point, isn't it?
So essentially, if we obviously I want to get people to that point of being vulnerable. Some good places that we can do is find someone you trust.
Yeah.
Chat to them about something more generic as opposed to I'm going through Hezbollah.
Well, it's as easy as just talking to someone and say I'm struggling with something. You don't even have to tell them.
Yeah.
Just so that they're aware, and then the next time you feel comfortable going, it never comes out straight away. Never ever. So it's something that you'll build into it and you'll chip away at and you work at it. Nothing good happens in one go, is it? You never get good at something the first time. So, yeah, just need it. And everyone needs it, where it's a day where you just try and switch off from all the things that you're overthinking about, not currently dealing with, or stuck, or whatever. Because it's always not as bad as you think it is.
That's right, yeah. And
so you got to try and step back. And I've got better about understanding when I am and when I'm getting in that cycle, and just trying my best. And I think I've spoken to you about before, where if I get in that type of place, I'll write it down, get it out, because I like to try and fix things, or plan for things, or be prepared. So when you're overthinking, you're doing none of those things. All you're doing is making everything worse. So just trying to work out ways of dealing with that, so you don't spiral away to everything's too hard and you just want to disappear. So from whatever it is that you're trying to deal with.
Well, Daniel, I appreciate your time today, and thanks for sharing a quick trip with Jezza. Thanks for your help on discussing vulnerability, and hopefully we can get people just talking in general, and finding those people that they trust, and being able to let them know that they're struggling, or they've got some challenges going on in their life. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Hopefully next time you pay for the drink. But anyway, we'll roll with it.
There you go. Cheers. Always look after teammate.